Hi there. Do your parents ever restrict you from doing something that you like as it's somehow not expected by the society based on your gender? Well, unfortunately, most societies expect men and women to behave a certain way and play a certain role by increasing the opportunities for men and marginalizing the rights for women. It is also believed that this prevents achieving real sustainable development. This is why gender equality falls into being one of the global issues we face till today. It is known as the state of not having the same rights, status, and opportunities as their other gender. Moving to my mass media examples, I chose for my print media an article titled by 7 Surprising and Outrageous Stats About Gender Inequality. The headline use of expressive words aimed to grab readers' attention, such as the word surprising and outrageous. From the headline, we can tell that the article will hold lists and a variety of statistics like graphs and charts, which helps in delivering the information to the reader and also supports the writer's points. Looking at the image right below the title, we can see that the audience of this article are wide, as it shows a wide variety of race, religion with no ethnicity. The first point shows how researchers found that women drivers are more likely to get injured in a crash than men, as car safety features has been designed for men. The second point shows how the child brides under the age of 18 are being married off by their parents to get rid of the economic burden, as they are less valued than boys. For the third point, it indicates how women in rural parts of Africa spend 40 billion hours a year collecting water, on top of all the lack of services combined with the expectation of household duties and limited employment opportunities for women, explaining how they are overloaded with duties. The table shows how women spend the most hours compared to men, girls, and boys collecting wood and water. Point 4 indicates that it will take nearly 108 years to close the gender gap. The bar chart shows the global gender gap performance in 2018 with overall index of 68%. Which is more than the half, justifying that it will take a long time to close the gap. For point 5, it shows that according to the World Bank recent, only 6 countries till now give equal legal work rights for women as men. Moving to point 6, it shows how confidence play a big role in narrowing the gender gap. This is shown by the chart of gender gap in several countries before and after accounting for gender differences in mathematics self-beliefs. Lastly, for point 7, film characters tend to be more males than females, and according to the Gina Davis Institute analysis, showing that opportunities for men are higher than females. Looking at all this information, we can tell that this article has took gender inequality seriously to aware people of all the facts happening. This was shown by all the research the writers had spent doing, including all the graphs and charts supporting the writer's points. The writer is hoping to liberate women by encouraging gender equality. Next, for the visual media, I chose some posters under the issue of gender inequality. These first 2 images displays a metaphor that shows how men has it easier than women. This is shown by how the ladder or the steps for the woman are nearly impossible for her to climb compared to the man whose steps are normally laid. This represents how opportunities for women are much harder to reach and obtain compared to men. These next 2 images displays how men are superior. In the image at the right, we can notice the height difference of both genders, with the man in a much higher position than the woman, showing that men are superior. This represents the denigration of women and the dominancy of men over women. The image at the left displays the man looking down at the woman condescendingly, while the woman looking up to the man, hoping that she could someday reach his position. These 4 images' use of metaphor dramatizes the view of the issue by illustrating women as victims. while the use of simple animation reveals that it is targeted to the general community, as the message can be heard by all ages. Finally, here are some tweets of the social media examples. The first one was tweeted by Emma Watson, who took a step in raising gender inequality awareness and launched a new campaign called He for She, and has encouraged all genders to participate as agents of change and take action against negative stereotypes and behaviors. In her tweet, she's calling out for all males, addressing them by wonderful men, and inviting them to support the women in their lives by taking a part in her campaign. This shows how she's stepping up for all women without pointing men guilty. Later on, she posts another tweet stating that gender inequality doesn't only liberate women, but also men, followed by a hashtag of her campaign, He for She. This shows that she's clearing the image for gender equality by confirming that gender equality is not only a woman's issue, but also men's. Her use of the word liberate increases the view of how gender inequality affects a person. Moving on, I picked a case study of gender inequality in Singapore. The case study holds a straightforward headline stating the issue found. To give the reader an idea of what the study will approach, it has ranked 16 countries, being the top at achieving gender equality on 10 different metrics such as gender wage gap, women's retirement savings, and female board representation. Despite Singapore being considered as a part of the world's best countries for gender equality, it is yet the least among them. It came last on 3 metrics, including annual holidays, average working hours, and the gender pay gap. The case study has mostly focused on the gender wage gap metrics of Singapore, stating that women in Singapore are being paid 20% less than men multiple times. The case study has included a bar chart illustrating and representing the 10 metrics of the different 16 countries, followed by a table including some of the least well-doing metrics of Singapore compared to countries scoring the highest on that metric. The case study has mostly highlighted the metrics where women has met inequity and are being treated unfairly, showing that it's standing alongside women. It has included bar charts and tables to organize the information. However, it did not amplify the issue compared to previous mass media examples. This may be because it only displayed information and stats of the research,